not change it now that we're live? I can change it. This is news flash.
Yeah, I like the blue.
I like the blue too. This is news flash. This is Wake Up Radio with Chris and Mike. Not really. It's the Chris and Mike show. He's Chris. I'm Mike. This is the show.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
Tuning in.
As Cheap Trick would say, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, that falls in line with one of my questions. You can
A question for me today.
Yeah, it's funny you bring up music. You know, like we never talk about music.
Everybody, listen to me. I'm gonna tell you.
Nut butter bar. Oh, hey. Yes. So I started my 10-day cycle.
I'm gonna be a free man. I'm gonna fight until the end. I'm gonna find the answers here. I'm gonna make it all quite clear.
It's Advil on the
Who is the day? We all keep it free. Just like a better man. He's got a great smile. I'm gonna choose the road I take. I'm gonna choose the road to stay. I'm gonna fly with the heavens above. I'm gonna be the chosen People tell me.
physical therapist. So I'll already be warmed up. Ooh, did you just Zoom with remote? Dude,
I did. That's what I was trying to
that's
figure out.
fucking badass, dude.
That's what
Look
I was
at
trying
me.
to figure out how to do when you logged on. I was
Look
like,
at
how?
me. Look
I'm
at
hitting
me.
all the wrong buttons and it's
I
saying
can-
something backwards on my computer that I can't read. And I know you're going to log on soon. I'm like, there's got to be an easy way to zoom in. There it
That's
is.
fucking cool, dude. You just
we go.
kicked it up a notch.
Oh yeah, we're going high tech, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to go even more high tech as time
high-tech.
goes on.
High technology, man. It's high.
I got a lot of ideas and a limited budget. The original applause meter. I dig it.
That was the original applause meter, boys and girls. So when I
dig
make
it.
something funny and it doesn't, nobody registers my humor.
That one I do like too.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm a fan. You know, kind of like when I try and slide a joke by you and you
Right.
just keep talking, and I'm like,
Yeah.
are you really just going to keep talking?
Kind of like why did Adele cross the road?
Okay.
To say
I'll
hello
bite.
from the other side.
I actually like those jokes.
You know-
I'm one of those weird people.
You know where I got that joke from? True story. Justin Bieber.
No shit.
No shit. Justin Bieber put that on his. For some reason I must have followed his page or something at some point in time in life. I don't remember doing so, but I get his little things, which are cool. His updates and shit. And
I got nothing against the Beeb.
I don't either. And I think I get that. Although you might have been a little bit hard on the Beaver last night. You know, I don't know.
I did say Beeb.
Some people
Right
have heard
to the
Beaver,
gutter, buddy.
Beaver.
Right to the
But
gutter.
you know, the thing about Justin Bieber, a wealth of talent, but just caught up in the whole Diddy stuff, and you know, I can't imagine being 14, 15 years old when Diddy first took him under his wing, and never having a single waking moment to yourself when you leave his house. Like,
No.
he's constantly hounded. I can't fathom how that would make me feel if every time I left my house, there was always somebody watching me, always somebody following me, taking pictures, fucking just. I get there's a price for fame, but really, should that be the ultimate price because you just constantly hounded nonstop for your entire life?
I mean, first off, a point that you always make, one of the reasons that I give a lot of these people a pass is what you just put it into words very well for people to be able to try and understand why a lot of these celebrities are the way they are.
Yeah.
Imagine not being able to go to the grocery store for yourself or even out to dinner, you know.
Right.
You can't just pop by Walmart because you'll actually, you'll cause a police action. So now you're a prisoner in wherever you live, which, you know, boo-hoo, they live in a $25 million house. You could get by for a while, but the reason that I put human contact on that question that you asked on Facebook was that is a necessity to live.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's been scientifically, medically, however you want to say it, it's been proven. If you isolate someone, that is the worst thing you can do. You will eventually go insane. You have to have human contact.
You do. Absolutely. And
so that gets, I mean, of course you're going to have human contact if you're Justin Bieber, but is it the right kind of human contact?
Right, but are you really though? Because the only people he can really trust are the people that are that have been in his circle for however long, right? You can't imagine not being able to trust someone that just kind of, you know, you ran into a fleeting moment at the grocery store, nobody was there to bother you. And someone doesn't really know who you are or acts like they don't know who you are because you're, you know, wearing whatever you're wearing, so you're not completely recognized. And you have a genuine connection. Wouldn't you always think in the back of your head, is this connection genuine, or do they know who I am, and what do they want from me? Because I personally think that I would constantly be on the suspicious radar in my head.
I think that a lot, and I'm not even famous, and so do you.
Right. Yeah. I can't imagine that kind of life. I mean, I get some people don't get berated as much as he does. And I mean, he hasn't done anything really relevant in a while that I know of. I mean, he did that song, Lost Myself at a Diddy Party, which lyrically is pretty fucking powerful.
He's an amazing entertainer.
He is, absolutely. It just sucks. There's no, I don't know, buffer zone. I think there needs to be a buffer zone for people that, you know, you choose a lifestyle, you choose an industry to get into, and I don't think you can ever really wrap your head around what success will look like for you individually, because everybody's success is different, right? Everybody's level of success is different.
Yeah, and what the average person has in their idea of what a day-to-day life of that person is like is so far out in left field they have no idea. You know?
Yeah. I agree.
What's the day-to-day life of a band? You rehearse, you travel, you rehearse, you write songs,
right?
You go in the studio, you record them.
Well, and just backing that
get
up,
on stage, you rehearse.
Right, but that's the Groundhog Day. Like Nickelback, that Nickelback.
It's a grind, man.
Documentary like solidified that, like you're in a never-ending Groundhog Day moment, because you get up. See, to me,
and there's no complaining in there at all. I loved every minute of it, but you know, if you drug the average person into your life, they would be like, what the actual fuck is going on right now? Because we have to do this, 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 and this. And it's like, oh, yeah, well, we have to do this, this, and this because that's how we make our living, right?
Right. And that's, and I don't think a lot of people understand what, like I saw this clip yesterday or the day before on an Instagram reel somehow, Bruno Mars. Okay. And he's rehearsing for an upcoming tour, I'm assuming.
Yes, he has like the #1 song in the world right now.
Right. Ready to go, Bruno Mars.
Him and some sexy chick.
Right on.
Literally, that's her name. Sexy Red.
Sexy chick.
That's it.
Sexy Red, right on.
Sexy Red.
So is the carpet match the drapes?
I don't know. I'm lucky to even know that much, buddy. Yeah.
Damn it, wrong button.
Yeah, for sure, wrong button.
So does the carpet match the drapes? I fucked it up. I fucked it up, man.
The crowd went wild.
So I'm watching his little thing, right? It was dancing.
Right.
Motherfucker can dance. We knew that, but just and the rehearsal of it. Like I never done. I don't know why I didn't ever put two and two together, right? Because so many acts that are in that hip hop, R&B kind of pop rock culture, not even pop, not rock itself, but just popular music that's kind of rock, right? They have all these elaborate stage shows and shit. I never thought about till I saw that little clip of him, because we never had backup dancers and shit. We were never standing on the stage dancing in sync, you know.
Couldn't afford backup dancers. Jesus,
that wasn't our thing. But the amount of time that has to go into the choreography and the dancing part, and then you got to figure out how to sing with that shit and sing right.
You're laying it out good for people.
Oh.
Can you imagine?
Right.
The people that are listening, how much time and effort. It's a given you have to be talented, right? Like I apply for a guitar player job in a band, the first question they're going to ask is, can you play a guitar?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's why I was glad I didn't apply for a guitarist job, because I don't play guitar.
No.
I've been like, C chord, jing.
But you're right, to be able to play an instrument and dance like that at the same time, to have that timing going on.
I was thinking.
I don't even know where you'd start for me.
I was thinking more of Bruno and the singer themselves singing and dancing like that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
and he plays guitar.
Yeah, I mean, in this clip, he wasn't playing guitar at all. He was
okay.
It was basically they were.
He does that a lot, though.
Yeah, they were in what looked like a garage, right? Like legitimately. Okay. They're all wearing like hoodies and shit because it must have been cold, and it was just three of them. But they were just it was fucking. It's badass.
I admire the art form for sure.
Yeah,
I cannot do it, so
no.
Therefore, I admire it.
No, and that's kind of
like
what
one move, like the Eddie Murphy white guy move.
Right,
I got that one.
And that's what got me thinking about that. Was seeing that, like, shit, you know, the amount of time that goes into just like that's just one piece of the puzzle. You still have to rehearse the set, and everything changes live because everything. If you don't know this, boys and girls, everything is that much faster live because your adrenaline's pumping. And everybody feeds off the drummer. So Charlie Watt, the legendary drummer for Rolling Stones, was given an amazing compliment that he was the human metronome, because no matter what the rest of the band wanted to do, Charlie was like, fuck you, you're staying in this boring ass time signature that we created in the studio. For everybody else, it's always faster live. Regardless if you don't want it to be.
For sure.
It's always faster
even
live.
if it's one beat per minute, which makes a difference. Usually it's 5. Well, no, not that extreme. If it's supposed to be at 120, you might be playing at 123.
Yeah.
And that's a noticeable difference.
Yeah. But I remembered that all the time when we played our songs. No matter how many times we played the song, it was always faster live. It was
For sure.
It was always more driving live, and it was.
You hit the nail on the head. You have a huge adrenaline dump right before you walk on that stage. Everybody does.
Yeah.
I've seen Metallica do it. I've seen Megadeth do it. I've seen Paul Simon do it.
Yeah. Good old
So
Paul
there's
Simon.
your range.
There's
And
your
that was
range.
that was one of the best concerts I ever saw that nobody would see coming.
Paul
And
Simon.
I only went because somebody gave me tickets for free, and my dad was a huge fan of that Graceland album, I think it was.
Yeah.
So I had heard him a lot, but 2-3 songs that I heard on the radio, and then that one Graceland album. I'm like, I don't know, but it was free. So I went out to Sun City with all the old folks and me.
Okay.
And a date. And let me tell you, dude.
Yeah.
The guitar is bigger than that guy is because he's super short.
Oh, yeah.
And small.
Uh-huh.
But he manhandles that thing like there's no tomorrow, and he does not miss a fucking note.
No shit.
And his band was probably 11, 12 pieces, and
Yeah.
they were outstanding.
Really?
Just sounded just like the album, only played through a gigantic PA system.
Nice.
But I will say, it was a touch faster.
Yeah. 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 I love his video with Chevy Chase. Call Me Al.
No question. One of the best ever.
One of the best videos ever.
It's,
One of the best.
What do they say? That ingrained in pop culture.
Mm-hmm. Good old Chevy Chase, man. Chevy.
Oh, yeah. He nailed that.
Did you watch any of the SNL stuff? The Saturday Night Live 50th?
A lady I work with asked me that. I wanted to.
Yeah.
I committed to doing it
Yeah.
and then forgot. I do that a lot. I got hooked on Severance. I'm gonna.
Oh yeah. Well,
I'm caught up now, so yeah, that's my. It was 14 episodes.
Oh, on Severance. Okay.
Yeah, I'm all caught up with everybody else now.
Right on.
Yeah, excellent.
I forgot how to do that thing that I clicked here, and then last week, remember, it had the Chris and Mike show right here from when we were on Twitch.
Okay, so the question I was going to ask you is name a cover song that you like better than...
I found it. Name a cover song I like better than the original?
Yeah.
Right away on the top of my head, Metallica's version of Turn the Page.
Outstanding.
Now, I
you
do
like that better than Bob Seger?
I do, because it's
powerful.
And the reason why
I like
is because the interpretation of Seeger, right? When you hear Seeger's song, you automatically think, because the way he did it, that you're on the road. It's about being on the road. It's like a band on the road, right?
100%.
That's what it is. Nothing else. When Metallica did it, and we've talked about this before, the video took a whole new direction for that song.
Did I ask you this question already?
No, we talked about it just in covers.
I mean, we're like
70
episodes later, so
somebody
might not have heard
I don't. You didn't ask me this questions, but we were talking about.
Okay. Because I do remember the conversation now.
Yeah, but and that's the thing. So, the dynamic of the interpretation of the lyrics, so far off from each other, it worked. And the reason why I lean towards the Metallica one, I saw Bob Seger live, fucking amazing live, showman like you wouldn't believe.
Agreed. One of the best.
That song was amazing live, but with a lot of, because it's kind of a ballady, with a lot of ballads, I think when you see them live, they're boring. Like Phil Collins, to me, playing In the Air Tonight, I've seen it live, it's fucking boring as hell.
I agree.
Because it's not, it doesn't translate well live. Like we had a song in Council that was Shadow by Your Side, which I wrote about it's a song about a predator, but it's from the predator's point of view.
Okay.
It doesn't translate live. It's too headphoney and trippy and too slow. It's a very hypnotic song.
Something that's meant to be listened to through what we're wearing right now.
Right.
Put your headphones on.
Yes.
Turn the lights down.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the Air Tonight, Phil Collins.
It's one of those songs.
Right.
I'll agree 100%.
And I don't know about you, but the first thing I think of when I think of Phil Collins is in the Air Tonight is Miami Vice, the series.
You can't, being our age, you cannot say that, they ruined that fucking song.
They did, but they did it. They only took the best chunks out of it, right?
Agreed.
They took the darkness of that, of when they first did it, was driving the Ferrari, I can feel
it just makes me mad when something takes over something that meant something else to me personally.
Agreed.
You know what I'm saying?
I do.
So
that's
but I
the
still like
difference.
Miami Vice.
I do too.
Don't get
but
me wrong.
that's the difference of why I like Metallica's version better, just because it's darker, it's a little bit heavier, and I think live it would carry further in a live
I got to see it, and it does.
Okay, there you go. What about you? What's your answer to that question?
Okay, so actually I want to talk about what you said, just to defend anybody that's like, motherfucker, Bob Seger wrote the motherfucking song, man. I know. Chris knows. Mm-hmm. And if you asked Bob Seger, I think this is what he would say. They made it their own on a level that he could never have imagined.
Right.
So he would have taken his hat off and said, good job, boys. It's fantastic. Maybe not my kind of music even, but they interpreted it on a level, like Chris said, that nobody saw coming. And that's what they're the best at, is taking James, I'm paraphrasing, but he said one time, we're like the worst cover band on the planet, so all we can do is make them our own. If you like them, that's great. A lot of people are like, fuck you, you killed that song, we hate it,
Right.
Sorry. This is the best we can do because this is how we know to do it. But to take a song and make it that true to form on a, like you said, on a heavier level, and then to put a visual with it that you're like, oh my God, that's heavy on a level you just can't have ever seen coming.
No.
So if you guys have never seen Turn the Page, Metallica's version, the video.
Uh-huh.
Put your
watch it.
headphones on. Go watch it for sure.
Yeah, you
Mine gets me in trouble right off the top of my head.
You, what is that?
Because it's messing with the mighty Beatles. I
Which
love
one?
Aerosmith's version of Come
See,
Together.
I fucking hate that version. And the only reason why I hate that version is I heard on Sirius XM a couple years ago the 5th take of that song with Lennon, and they had before recording discussion, the post recording discussion, because they were recording the whole thing, but he was
See,
laying
I told
down.
you it gets me in trouble, even with you.
Right, and he gets and he
He
but
just starts
Lennon,
going.
Lennon was he was trying to find the perfect, I think, voice for that. And if you're a singer, you understand what I mean by that.
For sure.
But that 5th take, and I've only heard it once since.
I didn't say I didn't like theirs, just like
I
you
know.
didn't say.
I know, but this take isn't the one that ended up released. This was like a B-side throwaway,
Okay.
so I can't find it anywhere. The reason why I don't like the Aerosmith version is because it's overplayed. It's fucking. You turn on KSLX here, and I guarantee you, within 2 hours, you're going to hear the song.
Yeah, but see, I stopped listening to the radio like 15 years ago.
Oh, I did too, for the most part. Once Neanderthal left Arizona, I kind of like.
So now all these songs are coming up in my rotation, and I'm like,
Oh, right on.
like I haven't heard a lot of these songs in a long time.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like Motley Crue's Helter Skelter better than the original. That one gets me in trouble too.
I don't remember Motley Crue. I like.
It was on Shout at the Devil.
Okay, I did. That's probably why. It was so long ago. I liked U2's version of Helter Skelter just because it was relevant and rattle and hum how they did it.
Yeah, I like that version as well.
Yeah, I think a lot of the reason why those older bands can be covered and taken to a whole new level is In This Moment did Fly Like an Eagle. That's fucking
Really?
bad. Oh, dude, it's fucking bad.
I'm gonna make a note right now. Hold on.
'Cause,
I actually
you know,
have pad and paper now, so
yeah,
I'll forget that.
I'm gonna verify that, but I believe that's what it was.
Because if you're messing with Steve Miller, you're getting into some rarefied air. I saw. Okay, so there's only one band I've seen more than Steve Miller, and that's Metallica. I've seen Metallica 11 times.
Okay.
I get asked this question all the time. First time in 1988.
Right.
Last time in 2009.
Okay.
So, Steve Miller, I saw for the first time out in Arizona at Desert Sky when it was still Desert Sky Pavilion.
Yep.
I went back and saw him 7 straight years after
Holy
that.
shit.
That's how fucking good that guy is. I had more fun at his concert than probably any concert I've ever been to. Just for the
Really?
simple fact that everyone, 20,000 people, knew every beat and every lyric
Wow.
to every song he played, and people were dancing in the aisles, and everybody was high, and we were all having fun. Or
That's
drunk,
awesome.
or whatever you preferred at the time, or sober. There was a lot of pot smoke out there at the time.
Well, my fucking thing's not wanting to work. Hold on. Like, why aren't you fucking working? Just pull up the music, man. There we go. Come on, where's my fucking music at?
And that's one of my favorite songs of his, for sure.
This, I really dig. I really dig In This Moment. They're bad. They're
I agree.
Badass band. So
They're in my
On-
playlist a lot.
on their Ritual album, they cover In the Air Night, which is okay. They do Black Wedding featuring Rob Halford, which is pretty badass. And then the album Mother, it's the second track. So they have the beginning, which is called the Interlude, and that bleeds right into Fly Like an Eagle, and it's fucking badass, man.
All right.
It's fucking right on.
Put her on the surround sound system when we're done.
And then it's another interlude, The Red Crusade, that goes to the song The In Between, followed by Legacy, and then another cover of We Will Rock You featuring Maria Brink, Lizzie Hale, and Taylor Monson. That's a pretty legit cover, too. It's ballsy to cover Steve Miller and Queen on the same fucking album.
Yes.
But the In This Moment gets away with it, man. She's got, I mean, women singers just, it's
Well, and she has an incredible voice.
well, just women in general, for the most part, man, can just fucking sing, and it's just they just have such a dynamic range. It's one of the things about being a singer that sucks that I'm a guy, because you know, there's shit that women can do vocally that's just fantastic. Like the In This Moment chick, like if you've never heard them, Google them. In This Moment, they're fucking phenomenal.
Absolutely, I agree.
Same with Hellstorm. Hellstorm's another female-driven vocalist, fucking badass.
You know who else I like that's right in that vein is the Pretty Reckless.
Oh, right on.
I heard like one of their songs and I downloaded pretty much everything because everything I listened to 3 or 4 seconds of was amazing. So if you haven't listened to them, put them in your
Pretty Reckless. Okay.
Yes.
I've probably heard them on Sirius.
I just think they have a really unique sound, and the fact that she quit being a famous actress to be a rock star, just
Oh, really?
yeah, she was on some big teen show. I couldn't tell you because I never watched it. Didn't know it till I looked up, you know, who she was and how she came about, you know, being a rock star. She just basically walked away from a super professional acting career. Like, fuck it, I'm going to be a rock star. That's what I always wanted to do. And so she took a chance and formed this band. I just think they have a really cool sound.
Okay, so it's Taylor Momsen. So she's in this. She helps with that song on In This Moment, which is The Trip.
Okay.
Former actress prior to, okay, let's see. Yeah, because now you got me intrigued.
I like when I get you intrigued.
Prior to her retirement in acting, she played Cindy Lou, who in the film How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Wow, she was little. Ginny Humphrey on the CW's teen drama series Gossip Girl.
That's it. Every teenage girl watched that show from beginning to end if they were in that decade.
Well, it's funny. She was Cindy Lou of the Jim Carrey version, man. That's fucking
right?
Cindy Lou. Lou grew up and fucking is a rocker now. She's pretty too.
Yeah.
I wouldn't kick her out of bed.
She's got a good look. She plays the part. And for me, the songs hold up. I mean, there might be people screaming right now going, they suck. I fucking hate them.
But that's the beautiful thing about music, boys and girls. It doesn't matter. If it resonates with you,
it's not a competition.
Exactly. If it resonates with you, then so be it, man. It resonates with you. It doesn't have to be. Not everybody has to agree. It's kind of like the Super Bowl halftime show. Jay-Z's in charge apparently for the next fucking 4 years. So guess what? You're not going to see rock music. It's not going to.
You know what my comeback to that is when people say stupid shit like that.
What's that?
I guarantee you're going to play something in your playlist that I'm going to be like, you fucking listen to that, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to berate you for it. I'm just going to be surprised. People are always shocked at how wide of a variety of listening I have. So.
Oh, me too. Except I don't like hardcore rap. I like a couple Eminem things because I'm white.
Right.
We
probably have the same very minor sprinkles on top. You know, I might listen to 10 of that genre of music of songs that are so good that you have to listen to them. You know, like whatever Eminem's #1 world-breaking song was forever. He had one that is in every movie and every TV show, and I don't know. They use it all the time. I like that song so much so I can't even remember the name of it.
Which one?
Whatever Eminem's biggest song he ever had was.
8 Mile? Was it 8 Mile?
Yeah.
Or Slim Shady or...
No, it has to be 8 Mile by a landslide because they use it in movies all the time.
Yeah, I mean, we know he supplanted Taylor Swift. There was one thing that I saw that I didn't think about when we talked about that after the post Super Bowl, how she was booed, you know.
Right.
And my bad, shame on me because I was like, oh, it's because people are tired, blah blah blah. That's a moot point because somebody was quick to point out when she was in that city. On her tour, she fed 75,000 homeless people. 75,000 homeless people.
I know, man.
So
that's why I thought it was a shame on humanity.
Yeah,
if you don't like her, don't fucking listen.
Right.
If you don't want to look at her, shut your fucking TV off.
Yeah. Or
just there's ways to avoid being harmed, or what's the word? People are not offended. They're fucking... God damn it, there's a word for it. Anyway, there's a way to not be offended, for lack of a better term that I'm searching my brain for.
I get what you're saying, though.
So thank you for pointing that out. Because let's not boo people that do shit like that.
No.
The government's not helping them.
No. And that's
They're
the thing.
starving.
Right, and I didn't boo her, right? My comment was, it's just people. No, I know, but I'm just clarifying, because when I'm not such a fuck that my opinion's my opinion. No, it's not. When I realized what a philanthropist she is, because she makes just an obscene amount of money. She has no choice but to give things away and do what she does, and she overpays her staff and all that kind of jazz.
But on the flip side of that, not to interrupt you.
No, you're good.
Chris has done amazing things for the homeless, and he gives to the veterans and the police. He does a lot of things that, if he makes a comment like that, it's just a general, this is how I think people are thinking kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
I watched a thing last night on what the jury didn't hear in the O.J. Simpson trial.
Oh, right on.
And they couldn't make the point enough that even though the black community came together for O.J. Simpson at the time, he turned his back on him the moment he became famous.
Oh, yeah.
The moment. He was like, I'm not a black man. I'm O.J. Simpson. Those are his words.
Oh, yeah.
Then he moved to Brentwood and, dined in the Hollywood Hills. And he wasn't an advocate. And they said he didn't do anything for their communities. That's my point. He didn't go feed the homeless. He didn't donate to the charities.
Right.
He played golf with white people.
Yep. Yes, he did.
That's what I got out of watching that show. And he was guilty as fuck, and they should have heard a lot more evidence.
Yeah. But, he's karma caught up to him. He died, and now he's, if you believe in it, he's burning in total damnation of hellfire. If you believe in that. If you believe in that. If you don't believe in that, then, he's just rotting away. In 6 months, his body will dissolve into nothing.
Let the bodies hit the floor.
Let the bodies hit the floor. I was on D1 training, Friday? And I was.
Is that not one of the greatest songs ever?
It is. And here's a funny little fact. That song was banned on radio play after 9/11.
Well, okay.
Yeah, it was. It was.
And I'm sure the band probably supported it.
Mm-hmm. For the simple point.
Yes.
The bodies hit the floor because people were Peter Panning out those windows. There's all kinds of shit coming up.
But you know what? You could mute that riff. Or you could mute that vocal just listen to the riff, and you'd still want to work out.
Right.
That riff is just, it'll melt your face off.
Yeah. No, I dig it, man. It's a cool
you got to
song.
have his scream in there, though. That's
you have to.
Fantastic.
You have to.
Didn't he die?
I believe so.
Yeah. I think that's the only album he ever recorded with him.
Yeah. What was the name of the band again?
Drowning Pool.
Drowning Pool.
They're still around. I think they're going on tour, if I remember right.
I wonder if that's an homage to Clint Eastwood's movie.
It has to be. They would have grown up same time. We did.
Yeah, Drowning Pool's an American rock band formed in Dallas, Texas in 1996. The band was named after 1975 film, The Drowning Pool.
Fantastic.
Since its formation, it's consisted of guitarist C.J. Pierce, drummer Mike Luce, and bassist Steve Benton, as well as a revolving cast of vocalists. So, yes. Let's see. After the release of their first album, Sinner, in 2001, original vocalist Dave Williams was found dead August 14th from heart disease. Wow. So, not of anything. Wow. Fucking year later, heart disease.
Yeah, see, I could never remember
Holy
what killed him,
shit.
so I didn't think he was a drug overdose kind of guy. Okay.
Nope, he recorded. Jason Jones, who replaced Williams in 2003, recorded one album, Desensitized, but left in 2005 due to musical differences. Wow, fucking heart disease. How old was he? I wonder how old. 30 fucking years old, man. Wow.
He actually lived your Vision song.
Yeah, died when he was 30. Fuck.
Did you write that song about him inadvertently?
Apparently.
How crazy is that?
Wow.
Because Vision was written long before he died, folks, and that pretty much just described the whole song.
Wow, that's crazy, dude.
That was a chilling song for me to play on stage after you told. I always wished you never told me what it was about.
Oh, really?
Well, just because we were like 23 or 4 at the time,
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
oh, it's just always creeped me out.
Yeah.
I'm like, this guy thinks he's going to be dead in like 5 years.
Right. Surprise. Well, I had a heart issue when I was 30, and so I did die. I coded Memorial Day weekend, but I came back and,
Then this poor fella took your place.
So did you see the stuff I sent you on I think it was Instagram.
Recently?
Elton John. Yesterday. Elton John.
I must not have.
Talking to Metallica. I don't know how, but a split screen. So Elton was somewhere and the Metallica were sitting on bar stools.
Okay.
And Elton John's talking about Nothing Else Matters.
Beautiful.
And how Elton John believes it's one of the greatest songs ever written.
James was afraid to bring that song to the band.
I know. But yeah, Elton John was just showering them with accolades about their songwriting, how they're one of the best group of songwriters ever. And regardless of the type of music that they play that type of music better than anyone else on the planet.
I agree.
And he just kept. I know it was just a trip coming from Elton John.
No, keep going.
No,
I think it's fantastic that someone like you said
Right.
of his songwriting and
Yeah.
performing stature
right.
notices the same thing that we noticed in their
Yeah.
music all along,
Right.
and that the true fans still notice that it comes from their heart.
Yeah.
And that you can't recreate. Here's a challenge to anybody that disagrees with what I'm saying right now.
Okay.
Go watch the few clips that are out there of Metallica playing with any other drummer if you think Lars sucks so bad.
Yeah.
Does Lars make mistakes? Yes. Does he make more mistakes with age? Yes. Have you ever tried playing Metallica songs for 2.5 fucking hours? Some of them are 213 beats a minute. James has always said, come see us now because we're not the Rolling Stones. We can't continue to do this forever.
No. Well, yeah.
Where I agree is it's the feel, man. You were there, you saw it, to experience it, to say it's a religious experience is almost not even powerful enough.
Right.
It'll change your life.
Yeah.
I just recently had a lady I work with. Her son was is a huge Metallica fan.
Okay.
Wanted to take James at his word because he said it several times in the last few years. Mom, I got to see him.
Yeah.
And she's like, I've never listened to this kind of music. I don't even like it. And so I had her listen to Enter Sandman, and he had her listen to some songs. She went and came back with the biggest fucking smile on her face. And she'll be listening to this now. So, Bobby, I'm glad that you enjoyed your Metallica experience.
Yay. Welcome.
First
to the
night
show.
of the tour at that Minneapolis, wherever it was, that big dome they have there where the Vikings play.
Yeah. Right on.
Yeah. So that's the kind of experience you had that I had in 1988 as a 16-year-old kid standing in the front row because we had 18th row tickets to Queensryche, and when the lights went down, there was still general admission at the time, and all the seats started flying to the back because everyone was trying to get to the front.
Right.
And we ran to the front row, and I got to see the And Justice for All tour right in front of James while he was sweating on us because there was no barrier then either. He could reach down and just shake your hand if he wanted to.
Yeah.
And it was still those days where people were, not getting shot on stage.
Yeah, so that was the Elton John thing, which I thought was
That's
pretty
awesome,
cool.
man.
Yeah. I sent you something else, too. I'll have to leave my phone.
I'll check it out.
They were all sent as talking points.
You sent it through Instagram?
I think it was Instagram, man. That's Messenger.
That's probably the one I don't use the most. I don't know. I don't see any messages.
Hold on.
Anyway, if you got them, you can
I'm trying to find them.
talk on.
Talk on. Where the fuck do I get to the email, man? Email. Oh, there it is.
I thought you always sent me that shit in notes.
Oh, there you are. Yeah, Mike. Okay. Yeah, Elton John sharing his thoughts on Metallica's Nothing Else Matters. And you can see James in the video that he's just straight up like, holy shit, like, this is Elton John. Like, this is...
Yeah, he's a hero to all of us as a musician, for sure.
Right, but, I mean, James is like, I'm watching, he's like visually moved what Elton John has to say, which is cool.
Because you know what that song means to him from his heart, for sure.
Right. Oh, this is a fucking great one. So Diddy, being the fuck that he is, right? He sampled, what the fuck was it? Every Breath You Take. Okay, one of his songs. Okay, without permission. Okay, in 1997. So Diddy was ordered to pay Sting $2,000. I think it's a day for the rest of his life. Is it true? Sting's like, yeah, he has to pay you $2,000 a day. Diddy has to pay Sting $2,000 a day for the rest of his life for stealing Every Breath You Take mix. It's legit. It's an interview.
That's
where
fantastic.
Where they're talking about it, and they asked Sting if that's true, and he's like, yeah, $2,000 a day.
That's fantastic.
Right? Just, I mean, it kind of goes back to Vanilla Ice and, Queen, and he's like, well, mine is ding, 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 ding. Theirs is ding, 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 ding. See the difference? Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, no, it's not going to fly, Vanilla.
No, that didn't work out for him at all.
So here's another great thing, because love of baseball. One of the greatest pitchers that you and I both agree, Greg Maddux, right?
For sure.
Just fucking unbelievable. The last 2 years he played in the major leagues, the catcher gave him no signs. Not a single sign was passed from the catcher. The way that Greg would call his pitches, because he called every pitch for the last 2 years of his career, would be depending on where his glove was at his body when the catcher threw the ball back. And then he'd have certain things he would do, like wipe the sweat off his brow, use his glove to wipe his nose, bang his glove on his leg. Those were telling the catcher what pitches he was going to throw. And depending on where the glove placement was on his body when he caught, so after he released the ball, he knew what he was going to throw. They were talking about, like, he knew what he was going to throw. So if he had his glove over here, the catcher would throw the ball to the outside of Maddux. So that means the ball was going to go inside, outside, depending on what batter was up. 2 fucking years, man. He did that. 2 years. And nobody fucking knew. Like, nobody knew until it finally came out when they were talking to him and John Schmaltz, and just like the changeup was he's doing something with the side. The curveball was picking his nose.
That's awesome.
They don't. Yeah, I said I'm watching it again. Like, they don't call him a freshman. He's like, I think the last 2 years I only gave location of my pitches. It was just inside or outside. That's all he gave. So that's in your messenger, Mike or not messenger, in your Instagram.
On my personal account or on the show account?
The one that says Mike.
Oh, okay. I haven't been on there today.
Because I also have in there. There's a video of Elon Musk with Trump and Joe Rogan. They're jamming out. It's AI.
That's awesome.
It's AI, but there's Joe Rogan on the drums. Nikki just ordered something because of Joe Rogan. I'm like, oh, look at you.
Here's a good baseball one for you.
Okay.
Bob Gibson was let go as the Mets pitching coach after the 1981 season when it was revealed that 90% of his instruction consisted of yelling, "Hit his ass," and asking, "Why do you guys all suck?"
That's awesome.
For those that don't know, Bob Gibson was one of the greatest pitchers to ever live, if not the greatest pitcher to ever live.
Right.
He has statistics that'll never be broken.
Agreed.
Because they won't let pitchers pitch that much anymore. Nolan Ryan's the same way.
Really?
Well, yeah, they have. Here's an interesting thing I read where recently Michael Jordan and Charles Barkley were interviewed. I think it was Jordan and Barkley. It was Jordan and somebody. Anyway, It was about the load management, where these players can only play so many minutes so they don't get injured. And how do you feel about that? And Jordan's like, I have no feelings on it at all because we wanted to go out there and play. There was no...
Thank you.
Like, the anticipation, he's like, we were excited and we wanted to do it. And we weren't going to tell somebody if our knee hurt a little bit, ooh, I got a tingle in my knee. It's like...
No, and that goes back to you can't everything's an asterisk.
Yes.
Yeah.
My point is that's how baseball is because the pitchers they got this 100 pitch mark, It's like, oh, he's getting to 90 pitches, so everybody knows they're going to pull him out,
which sucks because back 20 years ago, maybe even longer, right? I mean, complete games were 140 pitches sometimes, unless you're Randy Johnson and you're 9 pitches, 9 outs, or 3 outs.
But actually, a lot of times he had to throw a lot of pitches because it's easier if you're like a Maddux where you're a ground ball pitcher.
Right.
Because like you said, you throw one pitch, guy's out. Throw another pitch, oh shit, the next guy's out.
Yeah.
Randy Johnson had to strike a lot of guys out, which required 3 pitches every time. So
right, and if not more, because he wasn't. You know, you don't always throw it right down the middle. You want people to chase shit. His slider was fucking viciously wicked.
Possibly, he would probably tell you second only to Sandy Koufax, and I think Steele would say the same thing. Yeah. But I got to see it live. So
me too.
It was fucking outstanding.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hitters just look stupid.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I can't imagine either. Just standing up at the plate and facing him is because number one, he was 6'4", right? 6'4", 6'5".
He
lanky
was
as fuck.
6'8", I believe.
Was he really?
6'7". Look, he was the tallest.
Okay.
I know he was the tallest left-handed pitcher. I think he was the tallest pitcher up to a certain point. I think there might be one in the majors that might be taller than him now.
Okay, he had 2 hits at 26 at bats in 2009. That's the first stat that pops up for Randy Johnson, boys and girls. Are you fucking kidding me? 0 home runs, 0 RBIs, 2 hits, and 26 at bats in the 2009 season for San Francisco. Like, what the fuck? Randall David Johnson, nicknamed the Big Unit.
Let me guess, he was 6'10".
I'm looking for it. Oh yeah, fucking good job, dude. 6'10".
Thank you. I just wanted to be right. I knew the answer.
Yep, career start was 1988. Career end was 2009.
So here's an interesting fact.
Okay.
He delivered the ball 1 full foot closer to home plate than any pitcher that was in the league at the time, which gave him that much more of an advantage.
Fuck.
Because of his height.
Yeah.
So his stride was so long that there was no pitcher that could match it. He was 1 full foot closer to home plate, and he threw the ball 102 miles an hour.
That's crazy.
His slider was like 90 miles an hour. So to your point, it was one of the nastiest ever.
He's only got one World Series ring. That's with the Diamondbacks.
With the Diamondbacks.
He holds the Major League Baseball record with 6. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 300 strikeout seasons.
That's outstanding.
Here's what's even more. More than 8,000 pitchers have taken the mound in a Major League game, but only 14 have ever recorded a 300 strikeout season. In the collection,
how many? 14?
14. And the collection is the game-used lineup card, Randy Johnson, 300 strikeout, 1993 season, blah, 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 collection, whatever. Who's better, Randy Johnson or Nolan Ryan? Randy Johnson ranks second all-time behind Ryan with 4,875 strikeouts, having pitched until his age 45. Even if Johnson pitched for another 4 years and averaged 200 strikeouts per season, he would still not have caught up with Ryan.
That's why he quit.
Right?
Like, okay, second's good.
Yeah.
Nolan Ryan was a machine. Just unprecedented.
Okay, so 6'11" was the tallest baseball player ever. That was John Eric Rauch. Played for the
Red Sox.
I think so. It's hard to see in the uniform.
I think he was I don't know.
Miguel Tejada has the highest career batting average when making 50-plus appearances against Johnson with an average of 386.
Wow. He had his number.
Mm-hmm. Nolan Ryan told Randy Johnson his mechanics were off. After every pitch, Randy was landing on his heel, which shifted his balance towards third. Nolan told him to land on the ball of his foot, which directed him towards the home plate. And this was a typo, home plague. It actually says plague. He also emphasized the mental component of pitching, and that obviously changed his game. 21-year-old,
he was wild at first. They were talking about benching him, or kicking him out, down to the minors. Okay. Oh yeah, when he started with the Mariners, he was wild. Couldn't strike anybody out.
So
Nolan Ryan actually saved his career.
Yeah. So here's a Nolan Ryan fact. 21-year-old Nolan Ryan pitching against Hank Aaron at Shea Stadium May 19th, 1968. Aaron had 37 career at-bats with a .324 average with 2 home runs and 3 RBIs. Aaron once said he always looked for a curveball when he was at the plate because no one could throw a fastball by him. I guess Nolan Ryan probably threw a fastball by him. Way to go, Nolan.
Oh, yeah. Badass.
He was a badass.
How old was he when he quit pitching?
Randy, 45.
How old was Nolan?
I don't know.
I think he pitched past that. I had some good Nolan Ryan stats, but none of my shit's organized.
Nolan Ryan age when retired. 46, so a year younger than.
Damn it, that was going to
a
be
year
my
older.
guess.
A year older than Randy.
And Randy
Ryan-
could have pitched for what? You said 4 more years and
he
averaged
still wouldn't
200
have caught him,
strikeouts
yeah.
a year, and he still wouldn't
Still
have
wouldn't
caught him.
have caught him. Nope.
That's crazy.
Ryan pitched in 4 decades, debuting as a 19-year-old for the Mets in 1966 and playing his last game for the Rangers as a 46-year-old in 1993. He's the only pitcher in American League and National League history to appear in the majors as a teenager and in his age 45 season or older.
That's crazy.
Uh-huh.
And I don't think he ever really suffered any horrible injuries, did he?
I don't think so. But
You
yeah,
can't
and
be-
see, that goes back to fucking, okay, you didn't have pitch counts and shit, and you just had to be fucking tough, and you just had to do your thing, you know? So his, here's his career stats. 807 games played, 852 at-bats, which is funny. They do pitchers at bats. 40 runs, 94 hits, 36 RBIs, 38 walks, and he struck out 371 times. Like they're not showing his pitching stats. They're just showing his stats. Like, come on, I want to see the. I want to see.
We know he wasn't a batter.
Like, just,
That
like,
goes
who
without
gives a
saying.
shit about his fucking. Like, come on, man. No one Ryan baseball career's pitching stats. Like, I can't believe that was what they fucking gave us. Was, oh, here's his hitting stat. Fuck you. I don't care what he hit.
Don't be too afraid of AI yet, ladies and gentlemen.
That's fucking
It's
stupid.
not that smart.
Really? It does the same fucking thing. It doesn't. It's fucking stupid. I put in pitching stats and he doesn't. It doesn't give me pitching stats. It gives me fucking the batting bullshit again. Pitching stats.
78 years old.
It's fucking.
Still with us.
It's still not given. He's not giving his fucking pitching stats, dude. It's the fucking stupidest thing, man. His win-loss is 324 over 292. His ERA for his career was 3.19. He struck out 5,714 people. And his batting average with runners in scoring position was 1.25. He never pitched a perfect game because of his high walk rate. A perfect game occurs when a pitcher throws a no-hitter and no batters reached base. Interesting.
He's also said to have had the fastest fastball ever thrown, but
Yep.
some are skeptical. 108.1 miles an hour in 1974.
Yep, I'm seeing that too. My thing says 108.5 miles an hour, likely the fastest of all time, and Feller's most likely tossed a pitch at 107.6 miles an hour.
But if it was converted the way that we use radar today, it would have been calculated at 108 miles an hour because tons of pitchers have thrown over 100 miles an hour. Randy Johnson did it every night at 102.
Yeah. 20-year-old right-hander in Chicago's third-ranked prospect was recorded hitting 110 mile per hour baseball on a radar gun during a workout at APEC, the facility in Texas where he trains.
Damn.
110 miles an hour.
Here you go.
He hit that.
5,714 career
Yep.
strikeouts.
Yep.
That's fucking crazy.
So in June 14th, 1974, Ryan purportedly threw 235 pitches in a start against the Red Sox.
Damn.
13 innings, 19 strikeouts, 10 walks, 58 batters faced, 3 runs allowed. It marked one of 3 times in his career, twice during the 74, that Ryan had 19 Ks in an extra innings game. Yeah. Nolan Ryan, man.
Yeah, you could definitely. I mean, he's for surely the best strikeout pitcher in the history of baseball.
Right?
But you can definitely make an argument that, he was also the best
Also the best what?
Just the best of all time. The longevity of his career.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, brilliant. What else you got there? You got any other statements, any other things that you pull off the
Interweb.
The interweb? What 55 minutes right now? Almost an hour. Oh look here. I don't know if it's here or not, but it's my 20-year chip.
Sweet. When did you officially go pick it up?
Last week. 20.
Do you do it like right on the day you're supposed to go get it?
If I can. It just depends.
Not always. You're not one of those guys?
Not always. No, it just depends on the day, what day it falls on. And it fell on a Sunday, so I didn't go on a Sunday.
But you could have?
I could have. I guess. I don't know, because it's where I go.
Trying to figure out what kind of guy you are.
Where
Some
I go
people
is,
have to do it right then and
Right.
there. That's
Right.
part
I
of
used
the
to.
routine. Okay.
I used to. Probably by the first 5 years, it was definitely, I had to do it, when it was there. But now not so much. I actually found this the other day. This is my entire first year of coins that I gave to Nikki for Christmas that year.
That's
It's
awesome.
got the Serenity Prayer in the middle, and then it has the 24
What's the
hours.
frequency of those in the
These
beginning?
were, you get 24 hours,
Okay.
and then you got a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, and 9 months, and then I still had the year at the time, so the year is not actually on that, but she would get, every time I got a new coin, she would get the old coin, so I went online and found this place that had these that I got, just so she still had the originals.
Yeah, that's what makes, both of our journeys amazing, is that we took 180-degree different directions, and
Right.
arrived at the same point just because of who we are as individuals. You
Right.
know? You have to know who you are as a person to survive addiction.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a key.
Yeah, and everybody's different. So your recovery is not going to be the same as my recovery, and vice versa. It's just not. And anybody that thinks that recovery is the same for everybody, it's just not. I mean, I don't. There's people that are huge into the higher power and the grace of God. I'm sober, clean and sober. For 20 years, blah blah blah.
And if that works for them, that's
Right.
fantastic.
Right, and I'm just like, no, I've never subscribed to that thought. I never read the Big Blue Book. I followed their steps that was listed on the wall, but I didn't. That wasn't my thing. I just didn't. I'd read the book at the meetings we would have. Everybody would take a turn and read a page or whatever we were doing. But I never. Some people fucking carry that thing like a Bible, right?
Right. And once again, if that works for them and that keeps them alive and on this planet, that's fantastic. But one thing that I've always admired about your story, which you need to tell again because not everybody listens to every episode.
Bastards, come on!
I think we both do. But one thing I've always admired is that you used what worked for you out of AA.
Yeah.
And then you also made a commitment to yourself privately, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the most important part that everybody overlooks is I literally woke up one day and decided I wanted to live, right?
Yeah,
I don't want to die. And if I continue
No.
doing what I'm doing, I'm going to die. So we have to make some changes.
Mm-hmm.
And I immediately made changes, and those changes stayed with us till we're sitting here today. So I've always admired the fact that you took what you needed out of that, but you didn't carry that. We talked about it when we told your story. It was the thing that scared me about recovery as far as going to somewhere or going to someone was now I'm using that as another addiction, right? That terrified me.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to have to do this.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to have to do anything. That's part of my personality.
Right.
So
Right. Yep. And I don't discount any of the stories I heard and you know, how the people that I was with during my consistently going to AA at the Holy Spirit meeting, some of the stories were very long and dark when they would talk about their tale. There's one gentleman who was in Vietnam. He was a vet. And you could just tell, like, it's one of those people that didn't age well because he wore all his pain on his face. You know,
there's a great new Vietnam thing on Apple TV for those of you out there that have Apple TV. It's outstanding.
Right on.
Told by
Documentary?
by the people who were there.
Cool. So yeah, he got to the point to where him and his buddies were straight up drinking some watered down form of gasoline.
They go over that part of the war.
Just
did not know any of that. The troops gave up at some point, and they documented every horrid detail of it. Wow. It's fantastic.
Okay, I'm gonna watch that because I saw it. I never went to it, but I saw it, so I'll go watch that for sure.
Yes, and his story was told by a few guys that were there to the point where they revolted against the brass that were there, and if you had stripes, you were a target for the people that were in the infantries. They didn't trust anyone at that point, and they were all fucked up.
Hey, so this is kind of cool because I just did a squirrel moment. Sorry, I clicked on our chat, and I went to the Twitch.
Okay.
I think there's 10 people listening to us right now. I'm not sure how it works.
Hello out there in Twitch land.
Or is that just live channels? But I'm seeing us now live.
It's pretty cool, huh? We do this every week, twice a week.
Yeah,
and we just don't realize.
We have
it goes out live to Twitch.
We have 35 messages. So we
For
should
real?
Probably, yeah.
I probably should go to the Twitch channel once in a while, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, it's gaming benefit. I don't know we have messages because I can't log in, and we're not going to drop our login stuff right here because that would be bad.
I will get you that.
But it's cool because it's a delay.
Oh, there's a delay from Riverside to Twitch?
Yeah.
They don't see it, but we do. How far is the delay?
Man. It's freaky, man. I gotta get
you can't watch that I've done it before. You can't watch it very long, or it'll
fucking
mess
weird,
with your head.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like,
they don't know there's a delay if they're watching on Twitch, but we do because we're recording it live at the same time, and there's that slight.
Yeah.
What's it, about 2 seconds?
Probably a little bit more. I'm sure.
I've done the same thing.
Yeah.
Because I go over there to see if anybody's watching once in a while. I haven't done it in a while. I need to be more vigilant about that.
Yeah, it's pretty neat though. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And
broadcasting into 15 countries, live on Twitch twice a week.
Live on Twitch. Anything else you want to talk about?
What did I have for you?
I don't know.
I found a good one for you.
Okay.
The kind of music we like at the age of 20 is usually the kind of music we like for the rest of our lives. Think about everyone you know other than us. Not everybody's a musician.
Well, 20 hours probably was 1990.
You and I are different. We've evolved with the times, but I think that's a true statement for the average American.
Yeah, because I was going to say that was right when grunge started coming out, right? When we were 20. So
yep.
So it was the
Pearl Jam 10 was screaming up the church. But
ironically enough, I won't listen to anything they've done after Vitology.
You and I agree on that. That's one musical fact we agree on.
Yeah, and I think, and then, this is something we should talk about. I saw a thing that Nirvana may be going back on the road with Post Malone. No.
As their singer?
Yeah.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
No, I saw it. Or something. They did something somewhere.
Post Malone is super talented, and
right, but he's not Cobain. You can't. That's why Queen. Well, okay, like Queen's not the right example. I mean, because they found Adam Lambert. Adam Lambert can fucking sing like Freddie Mercury all day long. That dude's voice is amazing. How he was never discovered prior to America's Got Talent. Is that not America's Got Talent? What was it? What was he on?
American Idol.
Yeah, before that it just shows you how many people in the world have a phenomenal voice and just
It's a business.
Right. So Queen's the wrong example of that. But it's kind of like how Zeppelin's never played because Bonham's not
Quit.
there. Right.
Fucking quit.
Right.
Didn't even discuss it.
Right.
We're done.
Right. Because you can't replace
No one
Bonham.
can sit on that throne.
No, nobody.
That's what they call it, folks. It's a drum throne. I'm not worshiping the guy.
Right.
It's literally a drum throne.
Yeah. And
Nobody can sit there.
And I like Post Malone. I like some of the stuff he does. I had an argument with somebody one time because
Do you think that would be, not to interrupt you, but do
No,
you
you're
think
good.
that would be the equivalent of Jelly Roll trying to sing fucking
Fuck
Ozzy?
Jelly Roll? Oh my God, dude.
I know, but
Yeah.
is that where
Yeah.
you're going with this?
It's no, because I think Post Malone is a hell of a lot more talented than Jelly Roll.
Okay. I just wanted to hear you say that out loud.
Right.
Because I agree.
No, he is Jelly. Well, we were proven the world. He proved to the world he can't sing without autotune.
Right.
Like you rehearse that song because it's not like you just go up there and sing that song. You rehearse that for 2 or 3 times that afternoon. Motherfucker just can't sing. I'm sorry. If you like Jelly Roll, cool, but he's the king of autotune. Most artists.
But what if Post
are
Malone
auto-tuned.
fucking channels his inner Kurt Cobain and just blows your doors off?
I don't see it. Malone's not that dark of a. He's dark, but his voice isn't Cobain's voice. There's.
What if it's there and we don't know it? Axl
you
Rose
know.
has a 5-octave range to his voice.
Well, he did.
He can be
He
whoever
did.
he wants.
He did. He doesn't
He
anymore.
did. Right.
Yeah, he doesn't anymore. And I just think if Nirvana was Cobain and Cobain was Nirvana, right? You don't hear from Chris Neville-Shchak
Yeah,
because
that
he's a
guy.
whack-a-mole. Dave Grohl is Dave Grohl because Dave Grohl is Dave Grohl.
He's a talented motherfucker.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I saw this thing he was talking about Nevermind, which is what brought this to mind. He stole beats and riffs and shit from the 70s and 80s because he didn't know what to do on Nevermind. He wasn't.
Well, he was scared to
experienced drummer
lose his
yet.
job because they kept firing the drummers.
Right. He wasn't good enough. So he's
The
like,
average lifespan of a drummer in Nirvana at the
Nirvana?
time, he said, was like, what, a couple months?
Yeah. So he stole riffs from like disco. And then he was showing it. I forget who he was talking to. It was an interview. And then the interviewee was going back and he was just like, holy shit, I can't believe that. He's like, yeah, man, I was a fraud. I just fucking stole shit because I just had to make something work.
Well, we all did when we didn't know what we were doing.
Sure. But that's the point. You can't, to me, it's sacrilegious to put Post Malone in Cobain's thing and call it
I
Nirvana.
agree with you, just for the record.
Right. I know. It's just,
But it would just, I would love it if he would just come out and impress me somehow. You know,
yeah.
I wish
'cause
for that.
Yeah. Well, no, because he's very heavy effects and stuff. Like you don't have the vibrato he has without some effects enhancing that shit.
Right.
I had an argument with somebody. Oh, great vibrato. It's not real. We said, no, it's not. It's not real. You can't sustain that for an entire show. It's not real. It's not
Your
real.
vocal cords don't work that way.
No, it's pretend. It's like Ozzy Osbourne has his own gear for when he's singing on stage that is Ozzy's gear. It makes Ozzy's sound. I had a thing that I used that gave me a little bit of a delay on everything we did. It wasn't painfully obvious, but it was there enough that it kind of boosted me a little bit, and it had a little bit of a reverb because you sound better with just a little bit of reverb.
Effects are effects. This is coming
Right.
from a guy who ran sound for
Right.
professional bands.
Right, but it wasn't masking.
It did
my
not
voice.
help you
Correct.
hit the right note.
Correct.
That's the important part. Mm-hmm. It's not even delay, reverb. Those are all things that help you cut through the mix. That's what Tony will
Yes.
say when he's on here. Mm-hmm. A singer needs to be able to cut through the mix. If the
Right.
guitar is louder than the singer, the people in the audience are going to leave.
They're gonna lose
because they
interest.
came to hear the song, right?
Right,
They
right.
want to
Yep.
sing the words. They want to hear you. You're the front man.
Exactly.
We just had this discussion at work. I was so fortunate that I didn't have a front man that had the lead singer's disease because there's every right for a singer to be that way.
Sure.
Remember when Motley Crue kicked, this is how the discussion came about.
Okay.
Remember when Vince Neil got kicked out of Motley Crue and they got John
Yeah.
Corabi?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
in my opinion, recorded the greatest Motley Crue album ever.
Yeah, because it needed to be auto-tuned.
That gets me in trouble too. Vince didn't need auto-tune. He needed to be taught how to
Right,
sing
well, yeah.
the right phrasing is what
Right.
because he wasn't a musician.
No.
And he didn't have an innate ability like you did to be able to weave in and out of where the melody's going, right? Or where the music's going.
Sure.
The point that I'm making is people revolted because Vince was Motley Crue to the people in the public who bought the records.
Sure. It was a look.
It was the song. People listen to lyrics, whether I want to know it or not. How many great guitar albums with no fucking words do you know off the top of your head? I know a ton of them. But the average American's like, I don't know. But they know CCR, they know Steve Miller, they know Van Halen, they know The Doors, they know Led Zeppelin because they wrote great songs that meant something lyrically to them.
Right.
Whether they know it or not, people are not listening to the music, they're listening to the words.
Sure. That's what captivates you. That's what pulls you in, the hook.
Yes.
The lick, either the lick from the guitar lick or the fucking hook from the vocal standpoint, from the chorus or whatever. That's the hook. Every song has a hook. Every song that's popular, that's made its path through the world of rock and roll and whatever music, there's a hook to it. There's a reason you're drawn to it. There's something that captivates you.
Absolutely.
And without that, you don't. That's why we talked about Superbottom halftime show. That's why it doesn't matter. If you don't like the music, so what? Somebody else does. And it still was created. It was something that was created from nothing.
Yes, while you and I sit here and say we don't understand a word the guy said and that it doesn't mean anything to us because we can't relate to it.
Right.
There's two people on another podcast saying that was the most amazing thing I ever saw because.
Yeah. Yep.
Right? They would not enjoy a Pantera show probably.
No.
Because they can't relate to it, right?
Probably not.
I had one of the best times of my life at a Pantera show. So because I can relate to it. It means something to me.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm glad you brought that point up because that's people overlook that a lot, that music is not a competition. That's why I enjoyed it so much.
Yeah.
If you like Garth Brooks, that's great. If I like Garth Brooks too, but the average person is a country fan, they're a blues fan, they're a rock fan.
Yep.
That's why there's genres of music, so you can categorize it and people can buy it,
Yep.
I don't look at music that way. It's a good song or it's not a good song. I don't care what style it's in.
No,
if you sat and listened to me practice, as you have for thousands of hours, you'll hear me play country licks. You'll hear me play blues licks. You'll hear me play riffs that'll melt your face off.
Yeah.
So when somebody gives me a hard time about listening to the Bee Gees, I'm like, come over and I'll crank the Marshall up and you might change your mind.
Right. Right.
Ooh, no more of the scary music.
Yeah, well, the Bee Gees survived disco and then some, and, were relevant for a long fucking time after that era ended.
Just to me, you can sing, so you can appreciate it on a level I can't, but I cannot even imagine being able to do what they do with their voices in harmony.
Yeah. My falsetto's powerful, but we never used it because our music didn't call for it, but I could get up there fucking around. A nice piercing. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to spare you, but
I think there was a couple times when we were just jamming in practice that you would do it.
There's a couple. Yeah. I vaguely remember Scott's ears being, what the fuck?
That's when we knew we were going to be all right. Like, this guy can blow the fucking speakers out of the PA.
Yeah. All the joys of music making. All right, you got anything else you want to talk about on this fine Tuesday? Hey, my anniversary is tomorrow. 29 years married.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you. There's 3 tricks to a long, successful marriage.
Lay it on us.
Different comforters. Okay, his and her comforters, always. Whoever does the laundry, that person does the laundry. There's no getting around that because, they do the laundry purposely. So Nikki does the laundry. We have separate comforters. One thing I can't wait to discuss on the air because...
Well, it's a necessity of life, though, if you're going to be in a healthy relationship for any length of time.
Right.
You have to do the nasty.
Well, right, but these are different variables I was going to discuss. But, I think I've told you this off air. And the other one, whoever does the laundry, the other one does the dishes. So I always load and unload the dishwasher. For the most part, she does the laundry. And then, of course, the separate comforters, you know.
Believe me, you won't have to tell these stories when a couple of more of my guests come on the podcast. They'll just blow it out for you.
I know. Well, I do it because if
I know it's
if
called...
if Jake or Sky listen, I don't, you know.
It's all good, man.
You know.
It's all good.
Even though
people know exactly where we're going.
Yeah. You know.
And that's important.
Yeah. The honeymoon has never ended for us.
I think it has to be that way. Do you not agree?
I agree because
you can't have the once a week, once a month. You can't have a schedule.
No, I don't. That loses the value of it, and there's value in it.
There's value in the spontaneity,
right? And so if you like Al would every Saturday night, Al Bundy, right? Every Saturday night, you know.
Or if one person is always initiating, right?
Right.
That's huge in a relationship too.
Yeah, it's got to go both ways.
I always have to be the one. I hear that a lot.
Yep, it's got to go both, and it does, and that's I should, you know. I don't know if I should write a book about it, but, you know.
We should do a whole podcast on it.
We could do a whole podcast about what works and what doesn't, because I've, you know, fucking 30
I'm curious
years together.
for a guy who survived 29 years with the same person, and you guys are both still happy.
It's actually 30, because we've been married 29, and we've been together 30.
So 30 years with the same person, and you're still happy. That's, okay, we'll do a show on that.
Yeah, and there hasn't been a lot of darkness. I mean, there's a little bit of darkness when I was at the edge of my drinking.
Because I can tell you the opposite story of fucking absolute
contentment not being married.
No, it's not that. It's just that I just never. I don't know. I don't know if the way I put it the last time was the right way to put it. I said nobody ever made me a priority.
Okay.
I think that's the only way I can look at it because I'm sitting here by myself, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's not a woe is me, and I don't think that's the right way to put it because I think the right way to put it is other people had other priorities.
Yeah.
That were more important, and I have to respect that, right?
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, that's another show. We can talk about that.
Yeah, I know you got to go jog.
Got to go. We got to do 5 miles tonight. We're creeping up, man. Creeping up. We did 6.5 Sunday or Monday. 6.5 with a half-mile cool down. So
what's the weather like there today? Help me, because I sent you a picture.
I know. I was like, holy shit.
Just to prove to you that I'm not an exaggerator, which you know I'm not.
We are currently sitting at 73 degrees with a high of 74. Tomorrow, all week, we're in the mid-70s.
One of my good friends just took off for Florida and sent me a nice picture from there about 10 minutes before the show started.
Okay, so here's a mind fuck. Starting next Monday, we hit 80 all week. 83, 83, 86, 87.
Luckily for us, it's going to warm up too. We'll be about half that, so I'll take that.
Okay. Yeah, I would take that over 86.
You take that over -1.
Fucking A.
That was the temperature that I sent him this morning, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who are all over the world. It was a cool -1 actual temperature on my car when I pulled into work this morning. It was about 20 below wind chill.
That's insane.
Yeah. There were a lot of expletives said on the way from my car to the building.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, boys and girls, don't let the bad days win. Somebody loves you. So, you know, reach out if you're struggling. You know, wake up. Tomorrow's a better day. Tomorrow is always a better day.
Totally agree.
All right, man. Have a great night. Go eat your burrito.
You too, brother.
It's Tuesday night burritos.
I get to eat Mama K's chili, brother.
Oh,
yeah.
Chili. With or without beans?
With beans.
Okay.
I'm not eating chili without beans.
Okay. There you go.
Delicious.
You heard
and
it
hers
from
is the bomb. Not hot, flavorful. I don't want to burn the roof off of my mouth.
I hate when that happens to us. People laugh.
We're gonna fly into the figure. Look the tablet, go insane. Feel the chickens flow through your veins. On your journey. With a praying man, you took your breath on the earth.